has just made a ruling that could blow a massive hole in Diddy's legal defense. And by could, I mean will, because they ruled against Diddy. And if you're confused, don't worry. I'm going to explain exactly what this means, why it's so brutal, and how it could expose everything he's tried to keep hidden. Okay, so what happened? Let me bring you up to speed. So here's what happened. Diddy tried to argue that a series of messages, including that now infamous found it voice note about a hidden phone, were protected by attorney-client privilege. Not just any privilege throw, he threw everything at the wall. Corporate privilege through Combs Global, again, this links to the federal forfeiture, right? And the RICO, the common interest rule. Basically, we're all in this together, so it's private. Let's not forget that he was texting his assistant to contact the lawyer, Tini Garagos, and the Koval Doctrine, which says even assistants, KK, who it's rumored to be, and translators can be protected if they're helping the lawyer understand the situation. Now, to Diddy, that sounded airtight, right? Wrong. Why is that? Because Judge Submarinian just ruled on this. Now, if you guys don't know, part of the reasons why people are looking at Diddy like, what is wrong with you, is because there is literally a voice note that for some reason he put on phone number 1. He sent it to phone number 2. They found out about phone number 1 when they arrested him and found phone number 2. And that's where there were forwarded messages from phone number 1. Sound confusing? Don't worry. The government broke it down for us, okay? But listen, Diddy did say that what he found was on the phone could be a game changer, a big breakthrough, right? He said he didn't delete anything from the phone, implying that it may hold incriminating or exculpatory evidence related to female one. Now, we don't know if that's Jane Doe, if it's Cassie, whoever. Again, a romantic partner during the conspiracy period that is charged, okay? Again, they have a voice note that he sent to KK. Actually, this guy is so stupid, saying I don't know how this happened, but they found a phone. We found a phone that the raid didn't catch. Now, just to let you know, when the raid happened, not only do they raid it, but they actually send something to you and your lawyer saying that even if the raid didn't find stuff, you are legally obligated under this investigation to turn over any and all electronics, including but not limited to iPhone, pads, notebooks, tablets. So he knew he had to turn it in. But you guys, it gets worse because, get this, right? Get this. The judge just ruled. This, okay? Diddy's challenges arguing that communications are privileged, all right? And that was communications between his assistant, who's rumored to be KK, because she was his assistant at the time, and she would be the only one that had Tini Garagos' number. Diddy was arguing they were privileged. They said the court has reviewed the parties' arguments and authorities, as well as the communications at issues substantially for the reasons set forth in the filter team's reply brief. The court finds that the communications are not privileged under any of the doctrines that Combs invokes, namely the common interest rule, Koval, or corporate privilege. It is so ordered. You guys, let me say this again. It is not privileged. It is not protected. It is fair game for prosecution. Now, that means the government can now fully use those messages, the voice note, the text, the photos on the secret phone, all of it. And worse, they can use it to argue that Diddy was trying to hide evidence, mislead the investigation, or even obstruct justice. Now, let's get into the obstruction of justice really quick, okay? Because this is the part that is most damning, okay? Where the obstruction of justice is, under federal law, U.S. Code 1512 or 1503, any act that corruptly obstructs, influences, or impedes an official proceeding. You don't need to succeed with obstruction of justice. Just the intent to interfere with an investigation or court proceeding is enough. So you might be asking, so how's Diddy vulnerable? To get to the point. Well, baby, let's line this up for you. Let's line this up. Like Diddy's koala fade. That phone was found after the raids. He didn't turn it over with the dozens of other devices seized from his homes or persons. He describes the phone as from the time me and female one went to that thing, that directly links it to the timeline of the alleged conspiracy. He says, I didn't delete nothing. That shows that he knew what was on the phone, he had possession and control over it, and he could have produced it earlier, but he didn't. He doesn't turn it over when asked, even after the government confronts him after discovering it from device 2 during his arrest in the hotel room. The filing suggests he stalled or tried to claim it was privileged. That is a deliberate attempt to block access to evidence. So why could obstruction be so devastating? Obstruction can add over 5 to 20 years per count. It's a separate felony, depending on the section and the circumstances. And it doesn't require the government to prove the underlying crime, just that Diddy